Let's do Tennessee, Alabama.
I don't know, Andy. Look, Alabama, I think, has found an offensive blueprint, right?
Yes.
It's chuck it or Jalen, pull it and go. And I don't know. I think Tennessee does not get enough credit for how good they are up front on defense. And I think they're going to get in Milroe's face. They're going to pressure him. I take Tennessee against the number here.
So here's the thing. Alabama's an 8.5-point favorite. That's where it opened. They bet it up to 9.5. It's back down to 8.5. We're recording this a little early in the week, so if this has changed, that's why. But that is the number on FanDuel right now that we're looking at. And I'm with you on that, Richard, because James Pierce has been fantastic. If you watch that Tennessee-Texas A&M game, they were in Max Johnson's lap constantly. He had no time to throw. Now, some of that was he was getting some low snaps, but some of that was just not only was Tennessee getting pressure from the edges, they were getting pressure up the middle. And I think they can do that against Milroe. You watch Landon Jackson dominate Caden Proctor last week.
Yes.
Landon Jackson is a really good edge rusher for Arkansas. Caden Proctor is the freshman, offensive tackle for Alabama. He's going to be great. He's going to be an NFL player, but he's a true freshman right now trying to play against grown-ass men, and that's hard. That line on that game and that total on that game and all the others that you're going to hear today come from our partners at FanDuel. FanDuel is the #1 sports book in America. And if you go to FanDuel.com/Staples and sign up, the first $5 you bet, you get $200 in guaranteed bonus bets. And they have everything: NFL, NBA, golf, college football, obviously, you name it. Available in a bunch of states. And all the lines that you're going to see from FanDuel, there's some juicy ones. There are some juicy ones this week. And Richard and I, we started struggling. I think the folks at FanDuel have gotten better as the season has gone on at figuring out, all right, where's this thing need to be? Because we have some issues dealing with some of these lines because it feels like Vegas knows something that maybe we don't. But that's how it works. That's what makes it fun. FanDuel Sportsbook, FanDuel.com/Staples. First $5 bet, $200 in guaranteed bonus bets. FanDuel.com/Staples. On to the picks. And that, I think both of these quarterbacks are going to get harassed a lot in this game. And I think that creates a lot of variability, potential for turnovers, that sort of thing. And so who has the better turnover luck? Who can make the better turnover luck is the question, I think. I think Alabama's winning, but it is very easy to contemplate a close game here. I get every Tennessee game that I pick wrong. Pick them to cover against Florida. Pick South Carolina to cover, but Tennessee to win. Tennessee obliterated South Carolina. Picked A&M to cover. My instinct was take Alabama to cover here. I'm going to go against my instinct because I get Tennessee wrong every time. I'm going to take Tennessee to cover here, but I think Alabama wins. I think it plays out fairly similarly to Alabama-Arkansas.
Yeah, Bama gets up and then Bama sort of holds on. Eventually, Jalen Milroe is going to not hit some of these deep shots. Mm-hmm. But then, yes, you have Joe Milton on the other end. I don't know. I don't love Alabama being able to cover this number against a Tennessee offense that we do know can still put up some points in spots. It's still got that explosive factor. And I do think they will affect Jalen Milroe on defense significantly enough for it to be a one-possession game.
And the other thing is, I've also come to figure out probably that Cooper Mays is the most important player on Tennessee's team. When he's healthy and playing, their running game is very different. They can move the ball on the ground, and it does help. Now, it didn't help them throw the ball any better against Texas A&M, but it helped them win the game. Right. And that's the part I want to see. Jaylen Wright's been very good at tailback. So, yeah, this is going to be an interesting one because I could see Tennessee going in and winning this game too if Milroe has a bad day. I can also see this being an abject disaster for Tennessee if Joe Milton regresses anymore. And that's what the Tennessee fans like. I got a mailbag question this week that I didn't end up using because we were having Brent Hubbs on to talk about the quarterback situation. But man, they're worried. You might get the Nico calls at some point in the middle of this.
Yeah, the point that you made about Mays too is huge because against Florida, you could tell in a road environment at night, rowdy crowd, they got rattled, and there was a calmness factor in the offense that was missing there, right? Somebody there to kind of stabilize the ship, keep us right, get us into the right calls. Like they had to burn some timeouts beginning of the second half in the Florida game because of that. They're going to be in a tough road environment again here, and I do think your point on Mays is really well taken.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun game, I think, and it could be a disaster for either or both quarterbacks, which could make it even more wild. This is not going to be like this feels like it's going to be the opposite of Washington, Oregon. Where Washington and Oregon, where we're looking at this high level offense, high level quarterback play. This is going to get ugly because I think both defenses are going to be able to rattle both QBs.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching. Just a reminder, subscribe to this channel right here so you never miss an episode of Andy Staples on 3. And oh, by the way, watch all the other great videos on the On3 Sports YouTube channel.